He vanished without a trace when she was only 12, and after 20 silent years, he knocked on her door, alive, shaking, and carrying a truth she was never supposed to hear. The ghost of a father. When Rachel was 12, her father left home on a warm spring afternoon. No warning, no goodbye, no note on the kitchen table. Nothing. One moment he was fixing a loose hinge on the back door, and the next morning, he was simply gone. Police searched, neighbors whispered, her mother shattered, and Rachel learned, far too young, that some absences feel like a lifetime of winters. 20 years passed. Rachel grew up, moved out, built a life, a small home, a quiet job, the kind of safety she never had as a child. But she never stopped wondering. Why did he leave? Where did he go? Was he even alive? Those questions lived in the walls of her mind like shadows that refused to leave. And then, on an ordinary Thursday evening, there was a knock at the door. A slow, trembling, hesitant knock. One she instinctively knew wasn't from a stranger. When Rachel opened the door, she felt her breath collapse inside her chest. Her father stood there, older, thinner, eyes full of ghosts, and he whispered her name the same way he did when she was little. "Rach, it's me." A return that doesn't feel like a miracle. He stepped inside slowly as if afraid the floor might reject him. Rachel didn't hug him, didn't cry, didn't scream. She just stared, her voice small and shaking. "Where have you been?" He didn't answer. He simply removed an old backpack from his shoulder and placed it on the table with trembling hands. "I need to explain," he said. "And you deserve the truth." Rachel folded her arms. "The truth would have been nice 20 years ago." He nodded, eyes wet. I know, but I couldn't come back. Not then. Not with what I knew." Rachel felt a cold current run down her spine. "What you knew?" Her father sank into a chair, exhausted in a way that looked deeper than age or time. "Rach, I didn't leave you. I was forced to disappear." Strange revelations. Rachel felt anger mixing with fear. "Who forced you? Why?" He opened the backpack. Inside was an old, rusted metal box, a lock broken, papers folded in uneven stacks, a photograph with burn marks on its edges. Her father pushed the box toward her. "Everything is here. Everything I ran from." Rachel hesitated before opening the box. And when she did, her childhood collapsed in front of her. Inside were bank, transfer records, a list of names, surveillance photos, a newspaper clipping, a birth certificate. Not hers. Rachel frowned. "What is this?" Her father swallowed hard. "It's your mother's past." Rachel's heart stopped. "My mom? What about her?" He closed his eyes before answering. "You don't know who she really was, Rachel." The truth. He never meant to tell her father held one of the photos. A blurred image of a woman exchanging something with a man in a car. That woman is your mother. 15 years before we met? Rachel shook her head. "That's impossible. Mom wasn't—" "She was," he interrupted. His voice dropped to a whisper. "She was involved with dangerous people, very dangerous people. And when she tried to leave, they didn't let her go." Rachel felt her knees weaken. "That's why we moved so much," he continued. "Why we never stayed in one place long. Why I never let you walk home alone. Why she always looked over her shoulder." Rachel clutched the table. "But what does that have to do with you disappearing?" Her father looked her in the eyes, truly looked, for the first time in 20 years. "They came back, Rachel, and they wanted you." The night everything changed. Rachel felt her chest tighten. "Me? Why? I was a child." He nodded. "That's exactly why. You didn't owe them anything. But your mother did." He ran his hands through his hair, voice trembling. She made a choice, a deal, something she never told you. And when she couldn't pay her debt, they came to collect. Rachel felt the world spin. And you just left me with her? His voice cracked. No, I left to protect you, because the last thing they wanted was me. Rachel blinked, confused. Why you? He took a deep breath. Because I didn't just marry your mother, Rachel. I betrayed the people she worked for. Her pulse quickened. What did you do? He looked at the floor, ashamed. I stole something from them. Something they wanted. A ledger with every name, every deal, every payment. I thought, if I hid it, they'd stop coming for her. His eyes filled with tears. I was wrong. The reason he came back. Now Rachel felt suddenly cold. So these people, these criminals, they're still after you? He nodded. For years I kept moving, changing names, working jobs no one would notice, staying invisible. Rachel whispered, Then why come back? He stood up slowly, trembling. Because they found me again, Rach. And this time, they won't stop. Rachel felt panic rise in her throat. But why? Bring danger here? Why now? Her father reached into his coat and pulled out a single envelope. A letter. Her name written on it in her mother's handwriting. Rachel froze. Mom died before you left. He shook his head. She died the night I disappeared, but not before she wrote this. Rachel stared at the envelope like it was made of fire. Your mother sacrificed herself to save you, he whispered. And she made me swear to stay away, until the day they found me again. He placed the letter in Rachel's hands. And that day is today. Rachel opened the envelope with shaking fingers. Inside was a single sentence, written by her mother minutes before she died. If they ever return, he will protect you. Trust him. Tears streamed down Rachel's face. Her father stepped back toward the door. I can't stay, he whispered. They're close. If I stay, they'll come here next. Rachel shook her head, crying, You can't leave again, not now. He stepped outside into the night. I love you, Rachel. I never stopped. But if I stay, you won't live long enough to forgive me. Rachel reached out, but he was already walking into the darkness, the same darkness that stole him 20 years ago. And before disappearing again, he said one last thing. When it's safe, I'll knock again. If you want more dark, emotional stories like this, stay tuned for the next video.